Thank you, everybody, for being here. My name is Marco Schiavon. I am the newest faculty of the Turfgrass, UF Turfgrass team. As you can hear from my accent, I'm not really a Florida native. In fact, I'm actually coming from Italy. I studied University of Padua. And after that, I moved to the desert Southwest, where I spent the last 12 years of my life. Last November, I moved to UF as part of UF IFA's Turfgrass team. And let me tell you, I would have never imagined my first year at UF being how it turned out to be. I'm going to take this time that I have allocated for me, basically to introduce myself and to talk to you about future research plan. Since I couldn't really get many data, I couldn't really do much research this year. So, difference between Southwest and Florida, clearly out there, there's a shortage of potable water, and therefore turf is considered an unnecessary luxury by many community, and anti-turf is getting really, the anti-turf campaign is getting really aggressive, trying to get people to remove turfgrass and switch it to desert landscape. Out here, turned out that the anti-turf campaign is getting there, not as aggressive as the Southwest, but it's getting there. Now, the problems we have here in Florida are completely different. Of course, Clean Water Act sets the limit of water quality that we can have. We need to protect our water resources here in Florida. And of course, overwatering and over-fertilizing of turfgrass is actually one of the worst things you can do for the environment, and one of the worst things that you can do to pollute the watershed. So there are several different strategies to reduce potable water irrigation for turf. First one is deficit irrigation, which is watering below evapotranspirational needs, as Dr. Anru said in his presentation. Second one is sufficient nitrogen fertilization, again, as Dr. Anru said during his presentation. And I'm saying sufficient and not a lot of nitrogen fertilization. We need to pinpoint what's the minimal nitrogen level that can actually give us sufficient turf quality. Third one is actually replacing potable water with irrigation with recycled or impaired water that's not suitable for human consumption. Fourth one comes from chemical industry, and it's the use of surfactant. And then finally, you can use your irrigation efficiency. You can do that by properly scheduling your irrigation efficiency, following climate data, or having soil moisture sensor in order to monitor soil status, water status of your soil, or improve water distribution. Now, my research program is going, hopefully, to include all of these points and pinpoint turf water needs in order to reduce at the minimum potable water irrigation for turfgrass area. Let me start with effluent water. Why do we start with effluent water? Because that's what I'm spending most of my time since I came here. I came last November, as I said, and in December, I actually visited the Broward County wastewater management plan, aka the chocolate factory. This is how the water looks before it gets filtrated and before all the things they do there. Let me tell you, well, if drinking it was never an option before, you don't even want to stand close to it. You want to stay as far as possible from that kind of water. Anyway, they actually do have amazing filtration and depuration system, and by the end, this is how it came out. It almost looks like potable water still. You really do not wanna drink that. Why am I starting with it? Because I am lucky enough that, so this is my research center and this is the wastewater plant. So it's right on the other side of the fence. And fortunately, what I could do is basically from the plant, dig a trench, fairly long trench, and bring the purple line, bring the affluent water here at the center. Next step I'm going to do is basically creating an area, cleaning up an area where I kill all this grass that's not maintained, putting an irrigation system on, and then putting one area dedicated for golf with Bermuda grass and one area dedicated for residential with St. Augustine grass, and I'm going to compare long-term effect of effluent water with potable water. Why is effluent water worth watching? Well, basically, this is a chemical analysis we've done here of the effluent water. If you check nitrate level of effluent water is 100 times higher than my irrigation pond. So can turfgrass absorb nitrogen from effluent water itself without the need of supplemental fertilization? And if we have to fertilize it more, how much can we fertilize? Can we cut fertilization needs of the turf? Same thing goes with phosphorus. If you check, phosphorus is actually 1,000 times higher in effluent water than in pond water, and phosphorus is also pollutant. Now, TDS, so electrical conductivity of effluent water, can also influence the amount of nitrogen or the amount of nutrients that the grass picks up. In my case, TDS is 470 milligrams per liter total dissolved solid, which is not that high. Potable water is usually below 300, but still can this level harm the grass or harm the soil? Also, please keep in mind that this level fluctuates within the season. I guess it depends a lot on how many tourists we get every year and eventually how much did they party the night before. So yes, all these levels fluctuate a lot within the season. So we need to further pinpoint what can we do with this type of water. Also, pretty interesting. Check this out. There are some traces of chemicals, of herbicides in the effluent water when it comes out of the treatment plants. Still, I don't believe that this amount of 2,4-D is going to help you taking care of your broadleaves, but you never know. Second point, deficit irrigation. Why am I showing you this graph? This graph is December 19. I came on November 15 and December 19. Now I know it was one of the wettest December we had in South Florida, but still, if you take total rain and you compare it to the previous day evapotranspiration, total precipitation was more than 10 times total evapotranspiration. Okay, my HOA didn't really care, and they actually water turf every single night. And I went to them and told them, you know, we're getting a lot of rain. Maybe we don't need to turn on the sprinkler every night. Their answer was, you don't know how to grow turf. When I told them, well, you know, I may know a things or two about growing turf, well, then they told me, well, you don't know how to grow turf in Florida. Okay, gonna learn and then come back and see who's right. Starting for deficit irrigation, I already started this trial. It's a USGA NTEP. It's not a classical NTEP. In this case, USGA asked the NTEPs to actually test 11 Bermuda grasses, 11 different cultivars of Bermuda grass, 4 cultivars of zoysia, and 2 buffalo grasses at 3 different evapotranspiration levels. The evapotranspiration level were 30%, 45%, and 60% ET. This trial, I started it in December and went until July. I believe that from December until July, we turned on the sprinkler maybe 15 days. So 15 days in 7 months. The result was we really couldn't see much difference between the low ET level and the high ET level. In terms of difference within cultivars, I have not analyzed those data yet, so I cannot really tell you much. What I can tell you is that buffalo grass is missing in action. It actually never really established, definitely not the kind of grass that we can use here in South Florida. Also have the new Bermuda grass and soy giant taps. They were established last November. Don't have the studies ongoing. This is the first year we're actually taking ratings. I don't really have many data to show yet. Hopefully next year. And then let's talk about wetting agents. So a lot of companies have really good products and have a lot of really good data, university data to back up. Unfortunately, there are few of them that usually try to sell you what's called the snake oil, right? Usually when they tell you, you don't need research, this product works, that's first red flag, you shouldn't really buy that product. What am I trying to do here? I have a fairly big area of Floratam, really nice 12 big squares of Floratam, which I can split into 4 irrigation regimes. And then we're gonna test 4 nitrogen rates, kind of what Dr. Anru did with Bermuda grass up in J. And then we're going to test 2 different soil amendments that are available for homeowners. There are some newer formulations that are now available for homeowners. Some of them actually claim that you can just apply the soil amendments to your lawn and basically you don't have to water ever again. We are going to try that. Currently looking for a funding agency for this trial, but hopefully going to start it next year and it's going to go for at least 24 months. Something else going to do with Dr. Anru up in J. Do wetting agents prevent leachate, nitrogen leachates? The idea, I got it at University of California. If you check these, this picture here, the difference between these plots here and these plots here is wetting agents. Wetting agent applied, no wetting agent applied. Now, the other difference you see is that, yes, this is green and this is actually looking pretty bad, looking stressed. But check this out, the alley outside the plot actually looks pretty green. So what happened here? Basically, the wetting agent helped me keeping the nitrogen within the plot, okay? So my hypothesis is if you have better water distribution within your grass, can the grass absorb more nitrogen and hence prevent leaching of nitrogen into the water table. This is hopefully what we're going to do next year. We're going to have some teeth weight where to test wetting agents and nitrogen on. And finally, a study that I was supposed to start this year, unfortunately couldn't start because of the COVID pandemic. Evaluation of different aerification on ultra dwarf Bermuda grass. We're going to test different tines, ninja tines versus solid tines, and then we're going to test dry inject and see which would be the best way to recover, the best way to aerify your greens during the summertime, which would be the best method that gives you shorter recovery time, but also taking the best care of organic matter. So that I really want to thank you everybody for being at my presentation, and I really want to thank Karen Williams and Sergio Gallo for basically saving my my program this year. We were literally the only group doing full research during this pandemic this summer down here in South Florida. And thank you very much. And I guess if you have any question, please shoot them my way and I'll be able to answer.